Good morning. Welcome to today's Forex update. Now, the aim of this video is to continuously look at what the price is printing, not to get frustrated with the market and not to also anticipate too much. But what we are trying to do is to continue to look at the structure and what may happen and to interpret what we can see based on structure. On the long time, larger time frame, we still believe that Euro USD is going to break above this trend resistance here on the long time, but not immediately. And on the intermediate, what we see the price doing, because this really has been very corrective, very, very, very corrective. You can see it, the way it's going to the downside has been very corrective. And we expect at least, if this is going to run based on what we are seeing on Euro USD, if it's going to run like 5 waves in a triangle, then this could as well be A, B, C, D, and we expect at least the E, which is the one to test at least this trend support on the daily time frame, or on the daily time frame. So we expect that to happen. We still believe that we still have at least about 120 pips to do to the downside. That's on the intermediate. But on the immediate, is that what is going to be? So we want to look at it. Not until we break this trend resistance to the upside, then we will not be done with this correction. This has been very corrective. The way it's coming down is very, very corrective. I can't see any element of motive wave in here. So it's correcting, but though in a 5-wave format. And when you see corrections like this, we need to know that it is nothing but correction. But how are we going to, take something, probably intraday trade, to still profit maybe week in, week out, maybe once in a week? So that is the aim. So I'm going to zoom. I'm going to zoom in for us to see. So we're going to concentrate here. Now, concentrating here, they've told us that, we had this 5-way to the downside to complete this move. After 1, 2, maybe somewhere in here, 3, 4, 5. So we finished this wave as wave 1. Then we had a big correction in that time frame to 2, as the 3-wave to the upside, A, B, and a C to finish 2. Now, the first part now, where the thing has changed in terms of labeling is what I want us to see. I want you to really see this so that you understand what I'm trying to say. We went down as 1, 2, or in the internal structure of this, 1, 2, then 3 here, 4. So sorry, 3 here. Okay, 3 ended somewhere here. Yeah, at this point, 3 here. Then we add a 4, we had a 5. That's the way it's going to be. So look at it again. 1, 2, then 3 ended at this engulfing candle to do a 4 to this point and a 5 to finish 1. Then we had these 2 like this. A at the top of this green candle, C below it, and a 2 here. So to finish this 1 and a 2. Now, we are seeing this potentially as wave 3. So if it's going to be potentially a wave 3, what do we expect? At least we expect a minimum of 161.8 extension between this wave 1 and wave 2. That will be here. which is very close to that trend support. So we might just have a breach of that trend support, but at least we expect it here. Now, going to the inside degree of wave 3, because that is where it's been very, very much corrective and very time consuming now. So now the way 1 did 5 waves and 2 did 3 waves, we expect the 3-1 also, because I'm now beginning to label wave 3, which is the longest, as 1 and 2 in the golden yellow. So, and again, one thing before going further, I have to tell you also is that even if you have a corrective wave, it can do 1, 2, and finish the whole of the 5 waves at where you saw your wave 3. Because once you have your wave 3, of course, definitely you have your wave 4, as you will expect your wave 4 to be. You're going to have your wave 4, and your wave 5 can be truncated right on 3. It doesn't have to push. So if it's truncated, you know what that can be. And if it pushes below, you know what that can be, you know, in terms of leading diagonal or ending diagonal. So we know that if it's truncated, it's kind of an ending diagonal. If it's extended to have a 5, it's kind of a leading diagonal, which might still tell you that we are going to have a correction ABC and to go one more down. So anything is possible. So what I'm trying to say is that most of the time, the limit of where you want to exit is at 3, because once you have your 3 and you can't well on any time frame, you want to see a 4. And once you now see your 4 properly, you really want to exit at 3 or thereabout. And you want to now watch what happens for you to probably catch another entry if you are going to catch it. Of course, you are going to count, once you have your 4 and it's a 3 wave, you want to count the internal structure of the last wave to know if you're going to end at 3 or not. So it's very important that we understand this. Now, we are done with this, and we know that at least 3 should be here to test this trend support here. And it may go further, we don't know. Then again, this may just run your 5 waves if you are considering this to be ABCD of a triangle, and the price will continue to push up. And when it gets to a point here, we know that, yes, we are going to break the top. Okay. Now, within these 3, the way this one ran 5, we expect this also to run 5 waves. So this may finish its 5 waves around here. So I'm going to go to the inside of that. I want to be as quick as possible, so that all we have to do is to align ourselves from time to time. So, okay, now, so this may have done first to run a 5 waves here, because if you check on the lower time frame, you will see that this actually ran a 5 waves, you know, as the first part of that 3-1. Okay, now we see this more like a 3-wave structure to the upside as 1, 2, 3, you know, to really form a 2 to this, because this completely like a 1 and a 2, then this may have given us like a structure of a 3, a 4, and to finish a 5 here. This kind of ran in an ending diagonal to this wave to completely finish this one as 1, 2, you know, probably to finish it as an ending diagonal here. So this that we thought A, B, C of a W and all of that, it has dissipated since we have broken structure to the downside here. So we need to now see this as a complete correction to this point. Then we now had A, B, C of a 2 of that 3-1. So this will be a big 2 now. And this is going to be a 3-1 and a 3-2. So this is supposed to be a 3. We are going inside of a 3-3, and a 3-3 probably might be a bit longer. So what do we see? Because the aim is also to always count our 5-wave structure to see what is giving us, okay? So this one actually did A, B, C, and the last wave here is 5 waves, you know, like a zigzag, and this kind of a flat in between, which is an extended flat here, A, B, and a C, to do an extended flat here, to give us a zigzag component to this side, to finish this one as a 2 in respect to this one. So that looks perfect and complete to see this one as a 1 of the initial part of 3 and a 2. Now, the way we add this as a 1 to finish here, yeah, price is also very correct, has been very corrective. So what we see as the first part of that 3-1, that means 3-3-1, what we see now is that we see this as a 1 and a 2, a possible 2, a possible 3, a possible 4, and a possible 5. That is what we see. So if this one has run as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which looks like it, if I push down, if you concentrate on this part now, so I'd explain this part, I need to explain this aspect. So let's go inside of the 1 hour to look at that. Inside of a 1 hour, looking at this, even though look funny, you know, to us looks like a 1 and a 2, and this may have been a 3 and a 4. So because this one actually did a 3-wave structure to the upside, A, and in between here is a flat and a truncated 5 here to finish this, or a C leg here. So this is A leg, A, B, C of a B and a C here. So this looks so much like a 4th wave. So, and we can see that is a 4th wave, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is like a 5th wave. So what makes this one the 5th wave? What makes this one? You can begin to see that the momentum is dying off. And what I'm pitching, I'm looking at the possible scenario that we're going to now entirely correct this at least an ABC format to the upside to finish. If this is a 3-3-1, we're going to have a 3-3-2, and we're going to now have another sharp drop to the downside. So that is what we are waiting for. So this is giving us a mess. The way this gave us this mess of a correction, you know, to the downside here to finish this as a corrective wave. So because you can see that these actually are done like 1, 2 here, and a 3, 4, and a 5 here to finish this. And this is one ABC of this first part of this leg, you know, of that correction of probably a big 4 in respect to this. If you look at this as a 2, it will actually correlate. So as a 4, then we now begin to see a 5-wave structure here too, which is the 1, the 2 of that ending diagonal of that last part of it. If this is seen as a complete 1, and this is seen as a complete, you know, 2, which is, this one is ABC of a 4 here. So this is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a truncated 5 here to finish this wave. So we can see this format that this correction has given us. So most of the time when we are seeing a corrective pattern here, so what tells us we are done with that correction is once we do this, so we know in this corrective pattern, this is 1, and this is 2, this is 3, sorry, this is 3, this is 4 here, and this is 5. So 4, 1, like the ending diagonal that we talked about, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So we broke out to now start this correction of a 2. So we must have that at the back of our minds. So this picture is what I want you to picture. What I just explained here is what I want you to picture. So of course, now we now did A and a B and a 2, C of a 2. So let's picture that. So after that, we have to go into drop. We dropped 1, 2, and 3, 4, and a 5. So we can begin to see this 5th wave also as a possible correction to break out of a trend created between here and here. just like I showed you on that time frame. So we see this one as a complete 5. This is 3, 4, and a drop of 5 here. So we now had ABC of a 4. Now, after ABC of a 4, what are we going to have? We're going to have, you know, the last wave of 5. Now, the thing is that, are we done with this last wave of 5? That is where the question is. Are we done with this last wave of 5? That is where the question is. Or are we going to break low? So whatever it is obvious that this is nothing but an ending diagonal. And so we have to look at how to approach it. So once we have a 4, we are going to count, just like we had 4, you know, somewhere, just like we had a 4 here, and we counted 1, 2, 3, and a 4, ABC of a 4, and the last 5. So if you're going to break this one down, you're going to actually go into the maybe 5-minute time frame to really understand this as a 5 that had, you know, a truncated 5th wave of this particular one. So this one ran also in 5 waves after this 4 here. So ran in 5 waves. So looking at this wave now, so this is seen as a 1, a 2, and of course the longest is the 3rd wave and the 4th, and this should be the 5th wave. So for this one to be, for them to qualify, did this one run like a 5 wave? I mean, sorry, like a 3 wave structure to the upside to finish at 4, and this one ran like a 5th wave or 5 wave structure to the downside? So that is one thing we need to, you know, see to tell if indeed we are done. And again, if this one is a 4, you know, and this here is a 5, okay, let me try and do something. So if we are seeing this base here as a structure that completes the 3rd wave in that regard, because when you're having an overlapping and lots of momentum, is telling you the end is imminent for that wave. So what do we expect? Of course, it is kind of a more or less like a leading diagonal because it's not truncated on this 5 now. So we had this 4 and this at pull. Is it complete? Or where do we expect it to even terminate if it's going to be complete? We should expect, if it indeed is a 4, to this purple, from this 4 here to this purple, it should not pull beyond 161.8. So where is it? Okay, from this 3 blue to the 4 blue. Oh, okay, yes. So the 4 blue. So we are looking at the 3 blue to the 4 blue should not go beyond at least 161.8 here to finish this blue wave as a 5. So potentially price may still come here. Okay, now that's potentially looking at the blue wave. Now looking at the red wave now, if from this purple to this blue here will be 4. So where do we expect 161.8 to terminate? From that purple to the head of this 4. So the 161.8 also terminates the same way. So it's the bus stop, the total bus stop, if price is going to get here, this is where we will expect this to complete its wave. If we're still going to run down and to move up. So potentially, we are still looking at possibly if this, from this blue to this place, we come here at about 30 pips, you know, to move up, okay, to move up, 30 pips to move up. But we don't want to take any useless risk. So let's now look again into the internal structure of that wave that we are counting, okay? So now, we still see this as a possible 1 and a 2 correction, which is correct, okay? This is at about 61.8. And this, of course, when you are dealing with ending diagonal, the 3 might not actually properly give you a 161.8, and the 4 might pull beyond, and we know that in an ending diagonal that the 4th wave might actually pull beyond what you call 40, and because it overlaps. But now this can be a 1 after this 3, 4, and we are seeing the last blue as the first of the last blue, second of the last blue, 3 of the last blue, 4 of the last blue, and this may have just been a 5. So let's look at inside here. Did this one give us a fourth wave format of a correction of a flat at least? Because you wouldn't expect anything less than probably a flat. Now, so if we look at this and we say this is actually the 4th wave, does it look like a flat? If this one is a 1 or a B and a C. So from this point to this point, if this one is 85, maybe it's a zigzag. If it's more than 85, what it is exactly? Is it like a flat? From that to the red, that's the point there. So this is like a 90. So because it's a 90 or thereabout, so we can expect that, okay, because when I released the last video yesterday, I'll say, okay, we have to see structure break. But of course, we'll be having following structure break when you are doing an ending diagonal. So, and that is why most of the time we wait for 4-hour structure break. If it looks much like an ending diagonal, we have to wait for 4-hour structure break to know that, okay, yes, now we have confirmed that we are going to the other side. But again, do you really want to wait all that? You might be taking some opportunity, that present itself to know if you are going to. So now this is like a 90. We expect this one at least to thrust upwards. If the C wave is the 5th wave, and that's where it's funny because it can really, break your 123 because it's really corrective and it's like an ending diagonal. So that's where they send their dummy to anybody. You must just know the rule of an ending diagonal. So you can see that in terms of an extension, it broke 161.8, even 2 in terms of an extension, but it's still a wave 2 to us. It's still a wave 2 to us. It's still a wave 2 to us. So now, it's still a wave 4 to us. But another thing to look at, because you can't have this thrust to the downside and you are now taking these as a 2 to this one. It kind of look funny that this would be a 2 to this one. This actually ran its own 5 wave because this one ran its own 5 wave here for us to have this 2. 1, 2, and a 3, a 4 here, and a 5. Sorry. 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 here. So this one kind of ran a truncated 5 waves here. In this one here, then we now have ABC of a 2. Then the 3, 1 here in this corrective format also ran like 5 waves, 1, a 2, and a 3, a 3, a 4, a 5. Then a 3, a 4, then a 5 here. So that's the way we're going to look at that. A 5 here. So this also did 3 waves to the upside, A, B, C, and this one is like a 5 waves. So now, is this one complete as a 5 wave to the downside? That is what we need to see. Let's expand that. Is it complete as a 5 wave? Yeah, it looks so much like it has completed itself as a 5 wave that we have, let's go inside of the 5 minutes time frame. A 5 minutes time frame. So we can see this one as a 1 and a 2, and probably a 3, a 4. Okay. A 1, a 2, a 3 here, a 4 here, and the last part of the 5th wave, which is the 5th wave, also ran like a 5 wave structure, 1 and a 2, and a 3, a 4, a 5, to finish this one as a 5 of 5. So this one looks like a 5 of 5 blue. That's the way it looks. it appears. Now, after that, we are seeing this new wave to the upside. This new wave to the upside looks as if we are done with the first wave, where this one gave us A and a B in the middle, and the C kind of ran like a 5-wave. This is the 4th wave of it, and this is like the 5th wave of it. So I've completed this as a possible wave 1 if we are going bullish. So now, let me run back to the 15 minutes time frame. Now, if indeed we are done, and this one is going to run, this one has run, the A part of it, the 2 part of it, which is 1, 2, and this is 3, 4, and a 5, if it's complete. We should be seeing these as a possible ABC wave to the downside. So, and we should look for taking an opportunity to buy, okay? But if we should break lower than 90 here, you don't even have to wait. You have to close and count the way to the downside to see if probably what we want to do is to extend to those black area that I talked about, where this area. So this area. So if we now break low again, you have to count this as a 5-way to get to this point to go up. So if we break low again. So as far as we are concerned, we are done counting as 5-way. This one looks like a 5-way that is perfect, and this might just be the first push. So every opportunity to pick a buy, we have to pick a buy. So if it breaks low, then we have to now see the new wave that is going down as a 5-way structure until we get to the end of it. That is how to really do. But this is actually, a wedging out, and this one is actually burning itself out. I'm taking too much. It's not really easy to say I'm going to do 10 minutes and teach here. It's not easy like that. Okay, so let's go back into the 15 minutes time frame. So how do we want to approach this? The way we want to approach this now, I think I don't need this. So I need to put this here. See, and probably change. How do I change to a green? Let me change to a green. So that's the end of it. And probably let me still change this one to the beginning of a green, possibly a new wave. And then we're going to have this as A and a 2-wave to the downside. So what do we want to do? Even though we want to count, we're still going to count, but this is an area which potentially you could be looking for your buy until it's compromised. So this is potentially within this area, okay, of 76 and 61. Those are the areas you potentially must be looking for your buy. And interestingly, if it is what it is, this is our 85. So the purple, which seems to be the end of 3 here, for us to have this 5th wave, a 4 and a 5, has made itself like the 85 structure of this new wave that is coming down. Okay, so now, even if we take this as a 2, if we take this as a 2, we want to know if the price is actually coming down. If we take this as the end of a 2, let me put something there now. If I take this one as the end of a 2, if I take that as the end of a 2, let me use this, okay? So we want to know if this is a 5, if this is breaking down, the limit that it has to break down to know that, okay, yes, we are coming down is like this. So it has broken 40 already. That's 40. And this is 50. In terms of its own correction. So let me now take it out. That's a 50 in terms of its own correction. And this is a 40, which it just broke. So, which it just broke. This clearly tells us that this actually is coming down. So either correctively as a wave 2 to this for us to sprint and break this. Is when we break this trend, it's the first tendency that is going to go up, because so far it's been wedging down. Okay, so once we break this, it will be the first tendency, but we want to see if we can just get in early. And once we cross this purple line, you can create your alert there. So once you cross this purple line to the downside, price is going down. So, and what we are saying is that even if you get an opportunity around this 1.8, you only want to risk nothing but like 9 pips or 10 pips, which is good. So I don't know if by the time I finish this, the price would have gotten there or not. I don't know. But let me quickly end, since I've told you how to expect. Let me quickly, we are seeing this one as a 1 and a possible 2. And other things you can do is to see this as a B and a C, and you continue to watch what is happening here. But this is the place you don't want price to break. Okay, let me stop and quickly post that.